10%, health and welfare 6.5%, public safety 5.5%, fire protection 2.5%, general government 2.5%, capital outlay 1.5%, economic development 1.5%, and recreation 1%. Tonight I have with us our Public Works Director, and while he is coming up, Dave Booman, to give you a little bit of an outline as to how the county uses the funds. I would like to remind those who are viewing tonight that our property taxes are not used for public works and roads. If you look at your latest property tax statement, you can see on there where your property taxes are going. Dave?
Thank you, Commissioner Heath. Dave Booman, Public Works Director, Laramie County. As was mentioned, we get 70% of our annual budget from this fifth penny tax at the Public Works Department. With that, we maintain our 1,400 miles of road, of which is there's 1,100 of that is gravel. We maintain our fleet of equipment, which is 15 motor graders, 6 end dumps, 18 tractor trailers with belly dumps. We crush our own gravel with our pit out in the northeast part of the county. And part of the projects that we will be doing with the successful next fifth penny would be pavement preservation. We have slated some of our better roads actually to be chip sealed, and some other ones to have some major overhauls funding permitted.
As you can see from this slide, we use our fifth penny funds for match money for grants and funding for major projects. The total of improvements from 2015 to 2018 has been $7.7 million. We've used this on the West Allison Road construction. This was a project where we widened the street and added some sidewalks on both sides. This was over by the Johnson Junior High and South High. Road 223, this was an overlay project. This was also known as the Hillsdale Road from Burns to Hillsdale. Avenue B2 construction, safe routes to school. This connected a couple of trailer courts down on the south side and provided safe routes and travel for the children as they are traveling from home to Afflerbach Elementary. Road 162 was an overlay project. We had been saving money to get this project done. It was kind of pushed up ahead of Road 223 because we had some major frost issues on the road during the winter, and the road surface basically blew up on it, so we had to delay 223 and do Road 162 first. This is the Albany-to-LaGrange Road. For the law enforcement, the fifth penny pays for patrol cars upfittings costing anywhere from $25,000 to $31,000 depending upon the function. The function is determined by whether or not it is a basic patrol car, whether it is a bomb squad vehicle, a 3/4 ton pickup which pulls our bomb squad trailer, or whether it is a K9 unit. On the K9 units, they have special equipment in those units that will allow for the safety of the animal. If it gets too warm, the windows roll down, various fittings that they use in there for those dogs and keeping them safe. We'd hate to lose those. Those are expensive animals, costing about as much as the equipment costs for the upfittings. We're moving into SUVs for a lot of our patrol units. In Laramie County, of course, we're out in the county on gravel roads in all kinds of weather, and so these four-wheel drive units are very important to us, and we also find that they are very beneficial within the area around Cheyenne. The other issue that we have with going to these vehicles is they have more interior space in the front so that all of the communications equipment that our officers need to do their job will fit into those vehicles. Here you can see some of the equipment that goes in. I will have our IT staff talk about that just a little bit more, as they are very intricately involved in keeping that equipment in place. We also use this as match money to purchase equipment. Here we have some Kevlar vests. We have some radios, both portable and mobiles. reflective vests, very basic but very necessary when you're dealing with traffic situations. And tonight I have Laura Block with the library here who can speak to the library projects.
So the library uses the fifth penny tax to purchase materials that are listed on the slide, with the exception of the DVDs. DVDs are actually a we charge fees for those, so the fees that we charge are what keeps the DVD collection up and running. In addition to the purchase of the materials, the fifth penny tax is used to process those materials. As you can see on the slide, they have the 1% sticker on them, saying that's how we purchase the materials. But we also need to have other labels and barcodes and things that go on the materials so that they can go out and for public use. And then another thing that isn't listed on the slide is it allows the Laramie County Library System to be a member of the WILD database, which is Wyoming Libraries Databases. It's a state consortium that we are able to share resources such as databases, but also other electronic materials such as ebooks, e-audiobooks, and those things.
Thank you. I might mention too that in addition to the library here in Cheyenne, we have branch libraries out in Burns and Pine Bluffs. And so these books go from all over the county, and our bookmobile travels from one end of the county to the other to daycare centers and schools, providing reading material for the children. Okay, our fifth penny buys equipment for shared resources for 9 fire districts. I have our county fire warden, Matt Butler, here tonight to just talk about some of the equipment that we purchased.
Good evening. Thank you, Commissioner Heath. As you can see by the slide, Laramie County is protected by 9 different fire districts that are all responsible or are able to tap into the fifth penny funds. Of the 9 districts, they split up approximately $150,000, or we budget for $150,000 a year. So over the last 4 years, they've collected about $600,000. So when you talk about 9 different districts splitting $600,000, it gets to be a bit tricky for them to do so. But they do a great job at deciding what projects are most relevant or most necessary to be protected, or to protect the county. The county. Some of the projects that the county fire districts use this for are brush trucks or wildland trucks, engines, rescue equipment, SCBAs or their air packs. Each of these come with a very hefty price, as Ms. Nemechek pointed out earlier in the presentation. So of that $150,000, we also participate in what's called the Emergency Fire Suppression Account. And what that is basically an insurance package that we can utilized to apply for state funding if Laramie County were to see a large significant wildland fire. Most oftentimes wildfires start and end locally, so if it's a local jurisdiction that has the wildfire in it, they would have to recoup or come up with a cost, and this emergency fire suppression account helps us offset that cost. So again, of the $150,000 that we budget for every year, the emergency fire suppression account is $40,000 right off the bat, so that leaves 9 districts to split about $110,000 every year, and they do so very well.
I might mention that this money is divided by our fire chiefs in those 9 districts. They do a very good job and have had many, many lengthy discussions over prioritizing the use of those funds. Okay, our fifth penny revenue provides meals to senior citizens throughout the county. We support Cheyenne Housing Authority as well, the Pine Bluff Senior Center, and Meals on Wheels. Meals on Wheels has used some of this money as a match with a state grant in order to expand their kitchens so that they can expand services to our senior citizens within Laramie County. They also have volunteers that from all over the county that come in and drive and deliver those meals. These are very vital volunteers that we have in the county, as they are some of the only people that some of these senior citizens get to see during the week. This fills the requirements of Wyoming State Statute 8-2-105. We provide human services, health and welfare programs to Peak Wellness, Needs, Camilla Shelter, Safe Harbor, Alcohol Receiving Center, the Safe House, and the Cheyenne Health and Wellness. I might mention that Peak Wellness also provides mental health services out to eastern Laramie County as part of the services that they provide with their fifth penny funds. They also provide drug and alcohol treatment counseling. And again, this fulfills a state statute 18-2-112. I have Gus Lopez here from City County Health, and he will be speaking to how City County Health will be using the revenues that they receive.
Commissioner, Margaret, it's good to see you. Gus Lopez, Director of the Cheyenne-Laramie County Health Department. The $75,000 per year of the Laramie County fifth penny is primarily dedicated to the mosquito control program. The money is being also matched for local funding required by the State Department of Agriculture, and that is through the Emergency Insect Management Grant. The Laramie County fifth penny contribution helps secure over $145,000 in state dollars for Laramie County. The mosquito control program is used for all throughout Laramie County. This looks at the towns of Albin, Burns, Carpenter, Hillsdale, Pine Bluffs, and also the city of Cheyenne. The major use of the funding is the aerial larvicide spraying, which is conducted countywide 2 to 3 different times during the summer and 1 time during the fall. This covers all the drainage in the county. We're looking at intermittent streams, prairie reservoirs, drainages, sewage lagoons in Albin, Burns, Pine Bluffs. Also, the funding provides for the payroll for the mosquito techs that conduct the mosquito identification, surveillance, complaint investigations, also trap placement, monitoring, and plane spotting.
Thank you. And I will also say that this mosquito control project has been very successful here in Laramie County. We have not had any cases of West Nile virus, and this is the mosquito that they do target with this control project. We give money to the Parks and Recreation. We have a recreational advisory board, and they have used their money to help the Albin Community Center get new tile in their center and a new public address system, the Archer Equestrian Park fencing. This is being used by 3-day eventing right now. If you're into horse dressage or want to see something quite different, they have events scheduled basically through the summer at the Archer Complex on the southwest side, so that you can actually go out there and enjoy something different. They do get some Olympic level competitors that come out and train out there as well. The Burnsplex, they provided funds to assist with the fitness equipment, the Highlands Park Universal Playground, Clear Creek Park Shelter and Playground, and much, much more. The Clear Creek Shelter and Playground is over on the Southwest Drive. We have a brand new shelter and restroom over there, some new playground equipment. We are using some county funds aside from the recreational board funding in order to add some additional amenities over there, like a bike rack and some of these things to make this a very user-friendly park. It is a gem, the only county owned park that we have. We're very proud of it. And if you want to reserve space in the park and use it, you can call our Public Works Department, and they will be more than glad to set up a time and reserve the space for you. I mentioned earlier that I wanted to have our IT department come up and speak to how they use the capital outlay. And while Brad is coming up, he is our Assistant Director in the IT department. And would you please speak to some of the specific equipment that goes into our law enforcement vehicles and how IT is related to it?
Certainly. Thank you, Commissioner Heath. Brad Alexander, Laramie County IT. So, Laramie County IT is responsible for all of the primary public safety applications for Laramie County and the City of Cheyenne. This includes 911, Cheyenne Police Department, Cheyenne Fire, the fire districts, the Sheriff's Department, we're responsible for all of that. In order to maintain that, we use a high availability environment. We have 2 data centers, one downtown, one in Archer. We keep them synchronized. And we use a lot of the fifth penny money in order to maintain and upgrade that system as necessary. We are also responsible for the technology in the Laramie County Sheriff's Department and in the Laramie County Sheriff's Department vehicles. So the MDTs, each one of those, and that's mobile data terminals that are in the Sheriff's Department's cars, those average between $5,000 and $7,000 depending upon the docking stations and equipment that are attached to it that go into those. Then there is also the dash cameras and other equipment that is part of that that also connects to that, which we also work with the Sheriff's Department to maintain, and a lot of that is also purchased through the fifth penny sales tax.
I'd like to thank our county employees for coming out tonight and providing additional information on how the city, how the county uses their fifth penny funds. I'd also like to thank Marguerite, Vicki Nemechek, for the opportunity to give this presentation to you. I hope that you have found this presentation useful and informative, and that you will consider supporting the fifth penny sales tax as it is on the ballot on November 6th. As you can see, it's very important to health and public safety and several other projects within the county. Thank you.
And just to conclude, the League of Women Voters does not support candidates or political parties, but we do support ballot issues, and this is one that we do support. It's the value. It's 1 cent out of every dollar you spend. It adds, and then you can see that you aggregate that across the county, across 4 years, and you can see the tremendous amount of services you get every day. You probably don't even realize and think about it, how many people it serves, and the public works factor is huge. So we do urge people to support this, to vote for it, either on November 6th or if you vote early before then. So thank you very much.